Sure. You became a world champion today without giving up a single point throughout the whole tournament. Was that a factor at all? I mean, it looks like you got hit with a pretty good foot sweep, and you figured out how to scramble out of it and not, get scored on at all.
Yeah, I don't go into a tournament with a goal of like, I want this many points, or I don't want to get scored on this much. But when I started working with Valentine, he really sharpened up my defense a lot, and we've been doing, down blocks, reshots, all that stuff. So I've just seen some progression in my tournaments throughout the year, and that's kind of been maybe the common occurrence, and it's a good sign for me. Because a couple of times I did get in some almost tricky situations, but luckily with coaching and a lot of drilling, I worked on those kind of reactions before the tournament.
Helen, you've mentioned Valentine before. How much credit does he get from this, and has he helped you more with your technical end or more the emotional stuff, all the other stuff that goes into this?
I'll say, as a technical coach, he is the greatest technical coach I've ever seen. I mean, he's just a genius, the way he thinks. He's not the kind of coach that you can just go up to a day and say, hey, show me a move. I mean, he has a philosophy, and he has a system, and the way he shows you really have to trust him and believe in it, and you just start seeing results immediately. So yes, he's helped me extremely with my technique. Obviously, if you look from last year to this year, I'm hitting different moves. I mean, some moves I hit today, he showed me last week. And sometimes he'll tell me, don't try and hit this yet, like drill it a little bit more. But that's how much confidence I have in his coaching ability. And emotionally, I've lived at the training center or at university where you're part of a team. I've never really had a personal coach year round. So when I moved out to LA to work with Valentine, I did notice a difference because, he's all for me. And that's very important to have a good support system. So, and it just means a lot because, I'm with Sunkist and he's a coach for Titan Mercury, and when we first started working together, there were questions, would I have to switch clubs, or, would it be possible for him to coach me through 2016? And we, got Andy Barth, who's the head of Titan Mercury, and Kim and Art Martori, who are the head of Sunkist, and they were like, yeah, this is okay, we both support you and we support your dream, and if Valentine's a key to getting that, then you guys can stay with your clubs and still work together. So I just really want to thank them, because without their support, it would have been a lot messier.
Could you have imagined like smashing everybody how you did this weekend, and then just what's it like being in the zone like you were?
Yeah, I definitely, obviously I want to wrestle the best of my ability, and I hope that is smashing people, but again, that's not a goal when I go out. I just, exactly like you said, to get into the zone, for me, it's just praying, and if you listen to my playlist before I go out there, you laugh at the songs because they're really happy and like lighthearted or slow, or just things that make me smile. And I thought about my family in the stands, and I just keep thinking back to all the people that helped me. So many people who I can't even give credit. I couldn't even give credit to a huge long list. So when I just focus on the blessings, it just really frees me to go out there and just wrestle and do what I love and not feel pressure.
So what's on the playlist?
It's a Christian song called My Lighthouse by Red Collective. That was were you going to ask me to sing it? Okay.
Sure. Go ahead. Can you talk about the effect of that crowd tonight?
Oh, the crowd was incredible. I was excited before every match because I knew that the crowd was going to be cheering, and just for them to be chanting USA, or I saw a lot of our girls here with their faces painted, and I know every coach that I've ever had since I started wrestling when I was 7 is in the stands today. So I was just so excited. Like, I just couldn't wait to walk through that tunnel and get out on the mat and just wrestle for them, and it's just been great to have it here in Las Vegas.
Well, when you said this is the time you went for first time you ever had a personal coach, were you in a drastic situation regarding your career? You needed somebody like that now, or this moment may not happen?
No, first time I've had a personal coach year round. Before 2012, I worked with Kevin Black, and he was incredible. He really, just meeting him and his family, they really took me under their wing like I was, their own child, and that was just exactly what I needed, so important at the time. And he invited me to move out to Wisconsin so I could train with him full time, and I just thought that it was going to be best for me to go to Colorado and be in the training center and have all these resources, and I didn't realize how being on my own just wasn't an ideal situation for me. So, after in 2013, 2014, I just knew that I really needed to find someone that I could work with year round. And for me, moving to LA was the best.
When did you start working with Valentine and why that change?
After World Championships, when I took the bronze medal last year, he came up to me and he said, I've been watching you all summer, I see that you work hard, I see that you want to get better, but you just don't know how, and you don't have the resources. And he was like, look, we're going to go to Ossetia, Russia. It's like, one of the hotbeds for Russian wrestling. You can come with us. I can't coach you. I'm here with Aaron Pico and Elena and Vicky. But you can come, you'll learn from the guys. And I was like, yeah, okay, sure. So I went for 3 weeks, and just being in the Russian system, they don't do volunteer coaches, they do paid coaches, and athletes will stick with a coach, for many, many years. And that's when I realized, like, wow, having a coach is really, really important. And Valentine and I just talked at the end of the trip, and he, he got nothing out of it from coaching me because, like I said, I'm with Sunkiss, all of his athletes are tight mercury, he's tight mercury, but he just saw that I, wanted to get better, and he believed in me, and he, offered to coach me, and I'm just extremely indebted to him for that.
Helen, you and all the female world team members talk a lot about what you guys can do for women's wrestling in the United States. Two-part question. Talk about what this world title does to women's wrestling in the United States, and then secondly, what an Olympic gold medal next year could do beyond that.
Yeah, I definitely, so in the United States, we have 7 out of 50 states with state-sanctioned women's wrestling programs, so clearly there's a dire need for there to be more support and more opportunities for the girls. And I think when we can have a world championship on U.S. soil, or when we can have it, alongside the men, and people that maybe came to watch, Brett Metcalf today might see some of the women's matches, I think it just really helps and grows support for women's wrestling. And I think there's so many girls that maybe don't make it to this level because they didn't have the opportunities when they were younger. They didn't have a club or a coach that believed in them. And lucky for me, I always ran into people that did. But I think just getting world titles, and especially big titles, there's going to be more emphasis and more media attention for women's wrestling. And then I think that will kind of change many people's opinions about the sport. It will just ultimately, lead to progression.
Obviously, this is not an Olympic weight. Now you have to make the decision about going down. Which should we assume you're going to go down? And will this championship help make that decision easier now?
Definitely. I got surgery in December, and I plan to go 53 this year, qualify the weight before the Olympics. I thought this is how it's supposed to be done, so this is how I'm going to do it. And then I started working with a strength coach, started gaining muscle, my weight got higher, so Valentine, said try out the other Olympic weight, 58 kilograms. So the whole year, there were kind of some unforeseen factors, and there was a lot of fluctuation. Now I could have made 53, for the weigh-ins, 2 days ago with where my weight is, but where it was for the trials, it just wasn't. It was just going to be really, really taxing on my body, and I think one of the things that we see with cutting weight correctly is injuries, burnout, and I just didn't want any of that the year before the Olympics. Valentine mentioned, he said, this has been your weight class for a while, you've never won a world title, get the world title, have the whole summer to really focus on wrestling, because it's also, my first year working with him, so I didn't want to be killing myself doing extra, running or conditioning workouts. I just really wanted to focus on wrestling. And I think it paid off because, like I said, my wrestling's definitely changed, and I've leaned out, I've gotten stronger, I could focus on those things, and then now I just know what my body's capable of and what I'll need to do to get down to 53 next year.
You are definitely going down.
Yes.
Helen, just to piggyback off that last question, I know you've taken your nutrition to the next level, your conditioning to the next level, you've got the mind of the champion, and you're getting adjusted too. Can you just comment on how those affect your performance and your health?
Definitely. I'm highly in favor of doing everything you can. My body is my business. If I'm not healthy, I can't compete. If I can't compete, then I'm kind of out of work. And I love what I do, so I don't want to be out of work. I think getting adjusted, eating correctly, sleeping, just doing all those things, especially taking care of injuries or taking care of your body before it gets injured. And I think that's the biggest factor, and it's something I've really focused on this year, and it's really paid off. I've been healthy and I feel great.
Guys, she's got to go get on the award stand.